Hi, friends. Hi, friends. Hi, friends. Welcome to the Share Report Live. Thank you so much for joining. So happy that you are here. So, you may have noticed from the title of this video, lots of people are talking. People are thinking, have we been sold out to these foreign lobbies, to spies? I'm pretty sure you heard as of late. Okay, so we're going to be talking about a lot of different things in this video. But first things first, if you have not subscribed and you're watching, make sure that you subscribe, follow, share all the things, support this channel and all of my independent reporting. It takes lots of time. So I really would appreciate you subscribing, liking, sharing all the things, and even commenting on this live video to keep us all engaged and having an open conversation. And this video is definitely, all videos that I make are definitely to educate us, inform us, to talk about history, to have open dialogue, to share ideas, and to inform us of things that are happening. Okay. And then also wanted to preface in this video that once upon a time, I want to say this, once upon a time, the things that I speak about on this channel, at one time I believed the lie. Okay. So let's go back a little bit further. I have always, since a little girl, I probably will say since I heard about September 11th. Okay. When that first happened, I remember when that happened. I was very young at the time, but I remember when it happened. And I think that really sparked my interest in politics. Okay. And then from there, whenever I hear anything political, I would just kind of gravitate towards that. So I've always liked politics, been interested in it. At one point, I wanted to go to law school. Didn't happen. Law school's very expensive. Instead, I decided to be an interior designer, go to school for interior design, not practicing that. Long story short, I'm not practicing that. So, needless to say, I've had lots of aspirations in life as far as law goes, and politics and all the things just never got to happen. And so now I have this channel, get to talk about things that I do enjoy. So, with that being said, all that ranting to talk about is to say that once upon a time, the things that I now talk about in this channel, I once believed. For instance, all the things that we hear about we can't really say the name of this country or state, whatever you want to say it, the I country. We're just going to call it the letter I, which we know Israel. At one point, because I'm a Christian, and at one point I believed the lies, okay? And didn't understand or wasn't fully awake of things. It just didn't really grasp things. Okay. So it's like, okay, Israel, we should support them, all the things. So until I started reading the Bible and digging deeper and learning, it's like, okay, so it's not really what the Bible's saying. Okay. So aside from my religious Christianity, the political side, at one point, I used to believe the lies, the propaganda that we were fed. This I country is actually our ally. Okay. So it's like, okay, it's our ally. And then when things happened a couple years ago on October 7th, it's like, oh my. So at one point, I used to be, if you're watching this, you're like, why is everyone talking about the letter I country? Why are they talking about the letter I group? Okay. You're probably wondering that. Well, I have been digging and searching on other avenues and other aspects of the political scene and finances and taxes and all the things. And it kind of led me back to like, okay, so we're living in this world and we're paying taxes and more taxes. Where's all this money going? Okay, so where's all this extra money going? Where's the money that we're giving to our politicians? Where's it going? And it kind of led me down this rabbit hole. And it always seems to come back to the letter I group. Okay. So that's what kind of got me awake to things. And then I started researching on my own, like, okay, this is a lie. That's a lie. This is a lie. So it seems like there's a lot of people on YouTube or wherever it may be that is talking about the I group. And needless to say, it's necessary. It's very necessary because there's a lot of things over the years that we have been fed that actually were lies. Okay. And we're going to dig deep into this video because I want to talk about some things that I think is needed. So my last video, I was talking about AIPAC, which is actually a foreign lobbying group. It's a group. They say they're American citizens that are lobbying on behalf of the I group. Okay. And they get into the pocketbooks, the lining of our politicians from Congress, all different representatives, and they send them on paid trips to the I country and try to get them to do things on behalf of the I country and all the things. I spoke about this in my last video. Okay. Also, they also get in the pockets of our president. So I spoke in the last video about how it seems like no matter who we vote for, we get the same thing over and over again. We get worse, we get the same taxes taken from us and poured into these foreign entities, foreign lobbyists, and it just seems like we're just so much taken advantage of. Okay. So the reason I had brought that up is because I want to make us aware of these things, definitely aware of where our money's going, what's happening. And for me, it kind of is disheartening. It makes me not want to have to, or it makes me not want to vote or do anything because it seems like we're just getting the same thing over and over again. And I'm trying to dig and search for future politicians who are running, like who's not bought and paid for. Okay. And it doesn't even have to be the I country. It doesn't even have to be the I place. It could be any place. Like, why? We're supposed to be America first. We're supposed to be putting American citizens first. Okay. So I want to dive deeper. I'm going to show you something here. Okay. So AIPAC, formerly known back in JFK's time, it was actually known as the AZCPA. So it was the American Zionist Council of Public Relations. Okay. So needless to say, there's that Edward Bernays terminology. Okay. Public relations. He was the father of all of that, saying all of that. And public relations was one of his things. Okay. So it's kind of just basically to work with the public, make their mind think a certain way. Not all public relations is bad, not all public relations, but it's basically propaganda to make you think something. Okay. So that's what it was before. So I'll repeat that again. So before AIPAC was called AIPAC, it was AZCPA. And so during that time, JFK, which we know, and his brother RFK, who was the attorney general during that time as well. Okay. Somewhere during that time, they wanted the AIPAC to register with FARA. And because obviously foreign lobby, all the things. So it got to the point, this is so interesting. When I was digging, I found some really, really, really interesting things, which I will show you very, very soon. But they wanted them to register. Okay. And I found some Freedom of Information Act that came from for the Freedom of Information Act, some information that I'm still reading through. There is so much. And then things that were discovered during that time and said during that time. Okay. So, but first things first, I had mentioned that there are a lot of politicians right now that are bought and paid for by the foreign eye lobbyists. Okay. I'm going to show you something right here. So just so that you can believe it for yourself and not just, you know, rely on me. You can see it for yourself. I'm going to show you something really quickly. And I think it is very important for us to see this. So I'm going to pull this up. Go back here. Okay. So I have shared this before with you all, but I am on this website and here. Okay. So hopefully you can see that I am scrolling here. So this is the track AIPAC, all the people who are pro and that have received money, lots and lots and lots of money, which we already know this. I have covered this in my last video that Miriam Adelson gave millions of dollars to the Trump administration. We already know that. This is a lot of money right here, as you can see, but we're going to scroll down. Okay. We are going to scroll down here. Okay. So JD Vance, he's actually potentially running in 2028 for president. Okay. We even know that he was picked because he was pro the I country, supporting them, and then all other things. Okay. So I wanted to pull this up because right here it says President or Vice President JD Vance has received this amount of money right here in campaign contributions from the I country lobby. However, Vance's mentor, pro-I billionaire Peter Thiel, who actually right here, he co-founded Palantir Technologies. Okay. So this man, Peter Thiel, he has a business that he founded, and it is CA-backed analytic firm that helps the iCountry generate this on a live list of Palestinians in Gaza. Okay. So you can actually read that for yourself here. We can pull that up so that you can see that. I read this whole thing, so it's not like I'm making this up, but I read this whole thing, and it says right here, Palantir Technologies Incorporated, the data analysis firm that provides militaries with artificial intelligence models, has agreed to strategic partnership with the Defense Ministry to support to supply technology to help the country's war efforts. Okay. The agreement followed a Thursday meeting between the defense officials and Palantir co-founders, these people here, who were also in attendance, both parties. So it talks about both parties have mutually agreed to harness Palantir's advanced technology in support of war-related missions. Okay. So let me go back here. So as you can see, I mean, just, I don't know what else I could possibly say, is that our whole country is bought and paid for. And whenever you see that our politicians are pro going to war with this person, check their back pockets, check their wallets. Okay. Check their wallets and see who's paying for these things. Okay. And as you can see, a person that put into JD Vance's campaign, and this is both sides. Okay. This is not just Republicans. It's just not Democrats. It's both sides. Because remember, I played the video, my last video, I said in the video, I didn't say it, but AIPAC said that it's bipartisan. Okay. They even help out independents. Okay. So it is both sides that get their pockets filled. All right. So Peter Thiel has this technology, this artificial technology to help out with war related things over in the country and to target the poor, innocent, over 50% Palestinians are children and lots of women, lots and lots of innocent children, lots and lots of women to target them. Okay. So you have to think, what is going on? This is a reason why people are saying we are bought and paid for. And I totally, totally agree. We are bought and paid for. And the reason we should be so alarmed is because it's coming out of our tax money. It's coming out of our pockets. And therefore, we are helping to fund these things. This is the reason why we should be so alarmed. Okay. So alarmed. But instead, if you say, why aren't we taking these millions and millions of dollars and investing in the American economy? Okay. The country, they have significantly less debt than we do. I think it's like in the billions, where we're at like 34, 35 trillion dollars. They have other things to their advantage. Not that I'm for free education or free schooling or anything free. I'm not a socialist whatsoever. I believe in correct capitalism. But at the same time, here, there's people who are struggling to pay their insurance. Insurance is outrageous. Okay. People are struggling to pay their bills. People are struggling to pay back their loans. I would be, even though, like I said, I am not a socialist, I would be more than happy to take the millions of dollars that we are putting into these foreign places to actually keep it here to give people who maybe are going to school for something. It would be much better to invest in our own people. Like I said, I'm not for socialism, but it would be much better to invest in our own people than to give it to harm other people, give it to these foreigners, foreign people who we were lied to and said that they're allies when they're really not, and give it to them when they're using it for wrong things, like hurting people. Okay. So, and then also influencing our elections. So these are the things that I am referring to, friends. This is what I am talking about. These are the things that I want us to know. All right. So I'm going to play this video for you really quick. Jimmy Carter had spoke about actually, I'm going to let him talk in his own words because I think it is best. Let me share this with you. So Jimmy Carter here, he is talking about the apartheid. He uses the word apartheid here. And I think it is a very good terminology for what is happening right now. And our tax money is going to benefit this. Awful, purely awful. And being a Christian, God's word says, thou shalt not kill, right? So I believe that all life is precious. I believe that no matter what your ethnicity, it is precious. And that's the reason why I find this horrible. Okay, so I'm going to play this for you so that you can see what Mr. Carter said.
The word apartheid is exactly accurate. You know, this is an area that's occupied by two powers. They're now completely separated. The Palestinians can't even ride on the same roads that the Israelis have created or built in Palestinian territory. The Israelis never see a Palestinian except they're Israeli soldiers. The Palestinians never see an Israeli except at a distance, except the Israeli soldiers. So within Palestinian territory, they're absolutely and totally separated, much worse than they were in South Africa, by the way. And the other thing is, the other definition of apartheid is one side dominates the other, and the Israelis completely dominate the life of the Palestinian people.
Why don't Americans know what you have seen?
Americans don't want to know. The word apartheid is...
He said, Americans don't want to know. And that's somewhat true. I wouldn't say I wouldn't want to know. I want to know that because I want to know what is happening in my government. And I also don't want innocent children to be unlived and harmed. And the things that I have seen, children's limbs and just devastation, it breaks my heart. It truly does. So wanting to bring more awareness to this whole thing. Okay. So another thing that I wanted to bring up that I had mentioned, I was deep diving and went down this rabbit hole with the JFK files and RFK and all the things. So like I had mentioned earlier, that JFK and RFK wanted the once known as AZCPA, which we now know as AIPAC, that actually changed in the 1960s, I believe. Yes, it got changed in originally in 1950. Eisenhower really wanted them to register under FARA. Okay. And then it got revisited again with JFK and RFK. They're like, you guys really need to register. Okay. And I'm going to bring that up in a second. So we all know what happened to JFK, right? Yes, we all know what happened to him. Then all of a sudden, LBJ comes in and overturns it. Okay. So it was in process. It was lots of talk about it. And then all of a sudden, once JFK was unlived by lots and lots of sources, say it could be the acronym group with a little bit of sprinkling of some other groups that we're talking about and a little bit of other things in there, maybe a little bit of LBJ. I don't know. That's what the powers that be that are saying. I don't know. I don't know, but I do know, maybe kind of thing. So LBJ gets in there, overturns it. Okay. And then we have some other extremely interesting things that happen. The USS Liberty, which we will talk about in another video. Okay. So our allies, we were told our allies, which is the I group, purposefully targets USS Liberty. Okay. We were told they were our allies. Different subject, different time. Okay, so I want to show this to you because I feel like this is very needed for me to show this to you. So I found some information and it was brought about by FOIA. I'm just going to read a little clipping for you so that you can see it, because this channel is all about educating and knowing all the things that we need to know, because if we don't know our history, we are doomed to repeat it. And unfortunately, there are people that are still repeating it with their eyes wide open and don't care. Okay. All right. So I'm going to show this to you, and I thought it was extremely interesting. Okay. So I'm actually going to find the specific one so that you can see it. because there are so many different filings. So I need to find the specific one, and I think it is the one with, okay, so let's do this one right here, 1962. Yes, that one. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put this one on here for you. So, oh yes, I'm reading your comments here. Yes. Yes. No free handouts, definitely. Totally agree with you. No free handouts. Okay. Let me add this here for you so that you can see. Okay, so this is from the archives, like way back in the archives here. Okay, so it's a little bit, and plus it's from the 60s, so it's a little bit dark, but I'm going to read it. So this is from November 1st, 1962. The Attorney General, J. Walter Yeagley. Hopefully you all can see that. Okay, so the American Zionist Council, because so remember that's what it used to be called, AZCPA. Remember the public relations part. Okay, I think you ought to know that we are soliciting next week the registration of the AZC under the Foreign Acts Registration, Foreign Agents Registration Acts. Okay, so it goes on here. So this is all from FOIA. And like I said, there are so many that I am currently reading here. Very, very, very interesting stuff. And you can actually find that all yourself. It's very, very, very interesting. But during that time, RFK, JFK says we need to file, you guys need to file under FARA. And like I said, little did he know, soon after, he was not amongst the living. Okay. So there are so many different things that are just enlightening me. And I remember when I was so much younger, diving into politics and everything for me, because I just didn't know better. And of course, being so young and not owning anything, not that I own nobody owns anything, but not having any tangible things. Like when you're a teenager, you don't own a home or anything like that. And so you really don't understand the fiscal side of things until you get older and you have a house and you have to work and you have to pay taxes and all the things. So like I said, I started being interested in politics much, much younger. And mostly with social issues. Like, obviously there's two genders, one man, one woman, pro-life, all the things. That's as far as it got. Okay. And maybe, anti-war. But as I've gotten older, I'm starting to see that politics not only affects social issues, but it also affects foreign affairs and fiscal things. Okay. So this is the reason why I'm diving deeper into things and enlightening us and sharing this information with you all, because it is definitely much, much needed, much needed. So, and last but certainly not least, have you heard the news that the ambassador, Mr. Huckabee, went to go see Jonathan Pollard? So we all know that he actually was spying and giving lots and lots of United States secrets and selling or giving secrets to the I country, right? Which and then sold that to the Soviet Union. That's a whole nother story that we can get into in a later date. But the whole thing that I'm mentioning is because we have an ambassador on video. I have seen him on video years ago stating that Jonathan Pollard should be released. We need to, let him go. Okay? Release him for the sake of the I country and our relationship with them. The heading of this video says that people think we have been sold out. And I have to agree with those people who said that, because I really believe that we have been sold out. And God forbid if you say America first, Americans need to be taken care first. God forbid that you say that, because then you will be called an anti, we know what. Okay. And another thing that I wanted to say about that is that whenever people start saying that to you, like you're anti-Semitic and anti this person, or you're the R word, it's just basically a deflection from really what's going on. Okay. It's a deflection, and they're being deceitful and dishonest. Because I'm definitely not like that. And I know the people who are preaching America first are definitely like that. They're definitely not like that. They're wanting to put the American citizens first. Okay. So I wanted to hop on and share this video with you all. And I know some of you have mentioned me talking about some other groups of people, not just AIPAC, but there's other ones that I have researched as well. J Street. There's also CUFI, CUFI. And then also there's a counter to this that has I've recently found out about. It's called AZA PAC. Okay. I will talk about that in a different video, but it's very interesting. Very interesting. The world we are living in right now, and the fact that we have to fight for America first and have to, stand up for America first, when all along our politicians that we pay their salaries, they should be fighting for us. And the ones who are fighting for us are being vilified and being called traitors and having other people trying to get them out of office and spending money to get them out of office because they're wanting America first. So these are the things that I'm talking about, friends. Okay. So be aware, be smart. Don't believe the propaganda. Don't believe the deflecting that they have. Oh, you're the anti-person. You're the anti-this. Okay. It's all lies. We're not anti anything. We are America first. All right, so if you enjoyed this video, I know it was long. I'm going to split this up in sections so that you can rewatch and everything. In the meantime, leave condiments. I need to take a nap. Leave comments in the comments section. And then even when this video goes on my main YouTube channel, be sure to share, subscribe, all the things, comment out there if you have any questions or anything of that sort. Thank you all for joining, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.